your perceptions, your experience is to a certain extent shaped by the stuff that's built. It shapes the space with materials and structure and openings and surfaces. Walter Benjamin said about architecture that it's absorbed in a state of distraction. Most people, most of the time, are not paying attention to the built environment, nor should they particularly. They're doing what they're doing, and the built environment is there as the sort of backdrop or the support or whatever, the stage, on which they're doing that. Thinking about making architecture, we have to have it in the foreground of our mind, obviously, to shape it in such a way that it then becomes a useful background or backdrop or support to whatever the activities are that we're trying to support. You can build in enough tolerance, let's say, the way the public realm or just the built realm is made, that allows for the idea that somebody might use something in a way you hadn't thought about at all. Somebody was looking for resistance, who was looking for the open-ended, the inventiveness of the response to the built environment.
Definitely is tricky when you really want to do a trick and then you're trying it for ages and you get really close, or you don't get close but you kind of get a feel for it and then you don't make it. It's a shit feeling kind of battling with a rail or with a gap or whatever it is, battling with it for a long time and then like not getting it. It's really unsatisfying going home without having gotten it and being so close. For me, I find it way easier to just fully 100% go for something and then know you've tried it to your best straight away. I just find it easier to kind of fully think in your head you're going to do something and then just go for it. And that's just the kind of mindset I learned in a weird way over time. It doesn't always work out, obviously, but yeah, it's way more satisfying to land something straight away first go, or like even quick enough, like after 3 goes. I hate trying stuff for ages and ages because it kind of just wears you out and you kind of lose momentum and energy and motivation if you just keep missing it or keep nearly getting to the end and not finishing it. It's just a pain. Because like if you're going for a trick and you have doubt, if you're going up to a thing going, oh, my foot might slip off, it's gonna fucking slip off. Like you have to think something before you can do it, and if you think positively about it, then there'll probably be a positive outcome. I don't think I ever kind of thought seriously about giving up, because even though it is a dangerous sport, I think you get to, how far you can push yourself, and you most of the time don't go beyond that. Sometimes you do a tiny bit, but you kind of know your limits and you know how to fall and you know the dangers of things, so you're kind of prepared for how to deal with them if you do fall. I don't know, it is dangerous obviously, but I feel like when you know it really well, it's not as dangerous as people from the outside might think it is. If you're thinking about doing a really big gap or big trick, I think it's always something that you think about for a few weeks before. You get it in your head and you build it up and you imagine yourself doing it. But then, yeah, when it comes to the day that it's actually happening, you're kind of excited, but you're also anxious. And then when you get there, you actually see it for the first time. It's quite scary. I think, yeah, you kind of make a choice whether to do it or not. And then if you choose to do it, then you just kind of, cause it's kind of not do or die, but it's like you have to fully commit to it and fully go for it, or else there's just no point, because it is that big. You kind of just really need to fully do it, because you can't half pass it, because you'll hurt yourself. So I think knowing that you need to make that commitment is something you kind of go in with, and then when you do it, hopefully you land, but you might not, and if you don't, hopefully you can do it again. Every time I put my skates on and just roll around, I just get an amazing feeling off that, and I think just that alone is one of the reasons I'll never stop doing it. That's not really looking back, but that's just something. Every time I do it, it's just like, it's just like rolling on the ground is just so nice, and it's such a basic thing in it, but like that feeling is just unreal.